What's up? So I'm gonna talk to y'all. I'm gonna be defining Bushman, and um I'm gonna read this article I found about Bushmen. But Bushmen are referred to, like, that's a word they don't like using, but some people may use it. But it's, you could call them San, SAN, and these are people in South Africa. And they in the comics, they a Marvel comic superhero, a Jamaican musician born in 1973. Yeah. So I want to read this article. Um, Hold on, let me find what I found. So Bushman is a derogatory term. The term Bushman from 17th century is still used. Century Dutch Boschemans is still used by others and to self-identify, but is now considered a derogatory by many South Africans. I can't find a definition. I found it on my phone, but I'm on my phone. But it was another one that I felt like, I put it in the post. I put it in the post. Yeah, I just put it in the post. But I wanted to read this article I found. And it's in the description below. But it's, it's raining outside, y'all. So beautiful. Let me put this a little closer. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. If you wanna. Okay, here we go. So, I hope this works. So we got Botswana, the history of the Bushmen. The Bushmen, also known as the San people, are considered the oldest tribe that still exists in the world today. Surely you have seen them in many photographs with their bodies of small stature, almost naked, covering the private parts with animal skin. Their wrinkled skin, their curly black hair, and small flakes on the skull, and the very almond-shaped eyes protected by thick eyelids. Today, the vast majority live in Botswana, although many have left behind the ancestral traditions of this ancient people. Its history is a constant struggle for its survival and for maintaining its way of life in today's world, where globalization and the progress of modern life have taken hold. The earliest signs of this tribal group are found in the Upper Paleolithic, between the 33,000 and 9,000 years BC, before Christ, and are found throughout southern Africa. So y'all moved from Canada. That was the whole point of moving? Okay. They were displaced by more violent and numerous tribes, such as the Bantu, and also martyred and enslaved by the colonizing powers, such as the Boers, Germans, or English. In fact, it was the settlers who called this group Bushmen, meaning the men of the forest. Currently, there are few in the Kalahari Desert Reserve area. And many on the surroundings of big cities and towns in Botswana. They are people considered hunter-gatherers. They do not work in agriculture or livestock, do not work in metal, do not live in large villages, do not have their own writing, but they have great knowledge of nature and animals. This allows them to live close to many predators. They craft complex tools through stone. They make cave paintings, and they have a very sophisticated way of communicating with their language. The San language is a Khoisanid language where the presence of clicks For those who don't know. Okay. The San language is a Khoisanid language where the presence of clicks, noises made by the tongue, stands out as a phonic. It says phoneme, which would be like a phonic. They're phonics. So they talk like clicks. 70% of all his words start with a burst as a sound. A burst. I don't know what burst means. I just ate a Starburst lollipop though. Okay. For those who know what that meant, You remember when they said that when they put us on the earphones and they would make them clicking sounds? Yeah, that part. So they are nomadic peoples who gather fruit, herbs, and tree roots, and they hunt antelopes with small spears made for themselves. They live in igloo houses made of branches and covered with animal skins. And often during the rainy season, they live in caves, in the woods, and in the mountains. The Sand people believe that the diseases are caused by the spirits of the ancestors who tried to take the patient to another life. For this reason, they often perform healing dances around the patient, as well as make healing plants that they collect themselves. They also perform other sacred rituals, such as invoking the rain. So this is very interesting to me because like one of the healing practices I do is for like kids who may be like verbally abused in the home or whatever. I'll like kind of like dance around them or like, you know, be around them. So like say if they were to pray or ask for help, I would be there. So yeah. So I'm gonna keep going. Hold on. The people of Sand have endured for thousands of years because they have always maintained a great balance between the resources they obtain from nature and the survival of their population. They only hunt animals just for food and to use their skins as a piece of clothing or protection for their homes. They collect the plants they need for that day without storing them and without wasting more than necessary. They have a very cooperative view of the community where all the food they get is distributed equally among all the members of the village. It is a totally egalitarian people where neither sex predominates over the other. They do not conceive of the concept of private property or greed, and they have great respect and trust for the whole group, caring for the elderly and the sick. Being nomadic, having a non-greedy lifestyle, and getting just what it takes to survive and feed has caused nature to regenerate, allowing this tribal group to continue to obtain natural resources for the survival of its history. Its worst enemy has not been food shortages or climate change, but he has found it in the government of the country of Botswana, which has wanted to integrate them into modern life by separating them from their lands and traditions. Although okay, so my fit, I got my legend shirt on. I hope you can see it. Then I got my Vans. Oh look, I got on my Game Boy socks. NBS like games. My nephew like games too. But yeah, that's my flag. And I think I got my Steve Madden star hat on. Got my this one. So it's lightening up a little bit.